Hi guys, how are you? So nice to connect to you. My name is Laura from Pleiadian Healer at pleiadianhealer.com. And today we are going to do another brand new review video. And I decided to go with someone who may not be as popular as you think others are, but nonetheless, I decided to actually dissect through her for this video. And her name is Marina Jacobi. It's a bit unclear where her accent is from, if she's like Romanian or Italian or whatever. But she was on my list, and there are a lot of people on my list, don't get me wrong. But after going through one of the few major New Agers, which we already gone through, you can see the full list in the playlist, reviewing New Agers and the New Age Trap, which I'll link below. She was kind of still on that list because with her stuff, it's a perfect example of something where they give you a little bit of truth, right? And then they loop you in, and then all of a sudden you're looped in, and then you're like, hold on, what am I listening to? All of a sudden she's talking about karma and how you don't have any control over karma, and that's why you need to fulfill karmic contracts and all of that, which is the typical New Age hopium and hopelessness, where it's like, oh, that's why we have to reincarnate over and over again and all of that. But we'll go through a video. I picked out a video and dissect it as well. So just to kind of pop open here her YouTube channel, she calls herself the harmonic reactor. Why exactly, I have no idea. I'm not following any of these people, and I've actually never followed her because she's never even resonated with me. But there must be a story behind it. She's the type of person who likes to sit in front of huge whiteboards and write formulas down. Maybe that's why she likes to call herself a reactor, kind of like a mathematical term, to make things more scientific, perhaps, is the only reason I can think of. And what's striking is she's one of the only ones who actually doesn't have a website. So Elena Danon, which I kind of see similar to this person, to be honest with you, the way she expresses herself. Elena Danon, all these other people, Feel Good, they all have a website. Marina Jacobi does not appear to have a website. So she kind of lives off of donations right here. It links you over to a donor box site where you can donate if you want to. It's taking a while to upload. And then also you have a Facebook, but the Facebook, it's not even like a page, it's more like a person somehow, so it's not like a site that you can actually like it's not very business oriented. I do want to point that out. It appears when you go through her video, let's just go through the description box here, everything from Marina's heart is donation based, and how she supports herself and family. Please help support Marina's generous work by giving a donation. So everything is kind of based off of the donations, which is a horrible business idea. Coming from someone who runs businesses, this is just, that's not how you run a business, basically. But to each their own. And maybe she wants to make herself appear more like an ORG, like a nonprofit or whatever. She puts a whole lot of work into her YouTube channel for that. And it does appear that her YouTube channel is monetized. Not 100% sure. So there's a bit of things that don't make a whole lot of sense, in my opinion. If you're trying to make money off of something, then don't beg for donations, right? So try to offer something, maybe, maybe once again, try to offer sessions or whatever, but none of these people are offering any sessions. So for me, it's another telltale sign that a lot of their stuff has no hands, no feet, is how we like to say it in German. So there's nothing behind it, they wouldn't be able to put this into practice, what they're preaching. And it's a whole bunch of womb air, nothing behind the thin air. So the videos here, she has long videos. Her videos are always an hour long. You see a few that are 23 seconds long, which are more like trailers. And then you have 11-minute long ones, which are meditations. The meditation ones are labeled Ascension, which already tells you everything you need to know about Marina Jacobi. Anyone who promotes this entire Ascension BS is already dragging you down a false white light hopium trap and everything. I had a person comment recently on one of my videos being like, and this is not Marina Jacobi, but they were saying that they had a session or whatever with Ismael Perez or whatever, who's also high on that list still, by the way. And I think he might be dissected very soon this year. And he was telling this person how she would be able to have a child, a baby, with a person who's already dead. And the way that would happen is because of the 5D. They would be able to have this child together in the 5D. And, you know, you just gotta, this is how they like to play with people's emotions. When someone dies, right, you're already like so vulnerable, in such a vulnerable position. And it's just like, wow, mind blowing that actually people actually buy this crap. But of course they do, because they're in this false, you know, they're in this false overlay mentality where it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to ascend to the 5D, which by the way, that gets you nowhere. You can be recycled through all dimensions. You're still going to be trapped here in this matrix overlay. Oh yeah, I'm just going to ascend to 5D. And then I'll just have this child with the person who passed away, who had this car accident or whatever. But yeah, this is how these new agers are, right? So just her meditations, back to Marina, her meditations being labeled ascension and everything. For me, that shows me everything. You know, for me, that already shows me which reality she's emphasizing. And it's, for some reason, I get like this huge Elena Danan feel from her. I don't know why. They don't have the same energy. They look a little bit alike. They have like both darker hair. Maybe they're around the same age. She appears a bit younger to be than Elena Danan, but I don't know. Honestly, she gives me the creeps. I'm not gonna lie. And also, I'm a bit annoyed by people with accents and all of that too. Whatever though. So there are a few videos. She must have taken a few videos down. I remember when I checked her out like a year ago, I already wanted to do a review, and I was like, there are other types of videos on her channel now. So maybe she took them down. Maybe she's not creating regular content. I have no idea. There are a few live streams here. It's confusing the way YouTube kind of organized everything, but we're gonna jump right into this video right here. Marina Jacobi connecting with the ET and percent data, which is S5E37, whatever that label even means, is from September 24th, 2022. And a huge plus, which I was thrilled about, is that her microphone quality is ace. It is amazing. You know, when I was first checking this video out, I was like, wow, her microphone quality is so good. I want to know what microphone this person uses, because every single one can use this type of microphone for YouTube videos. So let's check it out. She's kind of like in a life or whatever
experienced, and
so we're gonna fast forward to minute 3 or 5. I forgot where she started with the interesting stuff, but we're not going to go through this entire 1 hour long video. Okay, we're just going to go through a few moments of it to show you exactly how misleading this person is. I can't sit here for 1 hour or 2 hours and dissect the entire thing.
That was a very good information. So we're gonna look into the extraterrestrial families.
Yeah, so that's already all you have to know. We're going to look into the ETs. How about you just look within yourself, Marina? Why are you always emphasizing this fake government psyop of ETs, which don't even really exist to the extent that New Agers think they exist, right?
And a connection with them and what is happening in the hologram.
So she's promoting the connection to ETs. Great. Yeah, amazing. Another one.
And so we can have experiences. That was very interesting to me. I knew about it, but I'm gonna wait for more people to come in. Hi, everybody. And thanks so much for your support, guys. This is very kind of you. I have a couple of very nice donors. Thank you so much, because I'm gonna start.
It's just not the entire donor thing. When I saw that, you know, I was blown away. I was like, how can she just rely on donations? It's so just not reliable, but all right.
And what happened was, I'm gonna give you the experience that I had, and I wanna thank the person that's, you know, end up contacting me, because I've been giving this information from the extraterrestrials for a very long time. You know that I connected with them for a very long time. From my child, I had dreams.
Yeah, it's always the same with these people. It doesn't matter if you're following Elizabeth April, another sham artist, or if you're following Alina Danon or Magenta Pixie or Phil Good. Well, Phil Good actually doesn't really promote the ETs anymore. Good for him though. Or if you're following Marina Jacobi, they always have the same rubbish story. Oh yeah, from when I was age 0. Oh yeah, I had this vision and I was connecting with them and I was abducted and yada yada. So it gets old. It gets so old always through hearing the same one. I also want to say she looks a bit uncomfortable. I don't know if it's just the day, sometimes people have off days or whatever. She looks really uncomfortable in front of the camera. Like she doesn't want to be there. She's barely even looking into the camera. And I remember her videos being a bit more enthusiastic when she was writing on that whiteboard behind her like 2 years ago. They were more enthusiastic than they are now. So I don't know what happened, if she just kind of is not believing in the stuff she's teaching anymore, but just follow the body language. Honestly, if you want to read a person's energy, read their body language, read their facial expressions, and definitely read their entire what's in their energy.
And I wanted to do all this stuff. Well, was obviously coded, my story, how I would drop into the hologram. We discuss
The hologram, like all these nothing words that get you nowhere. Honestly, it's the same with archaics too. It's like the phoenix rising, whatever. It hooks people in. They hear this, they're like, oh, hologram, I want to know more about it. And then you're like 20 videos in and you don't know anything more about it. It's just the same stuff they're basically saying, but it kind of hooked you in somehow because they're like these entities and these people's fields who are feasting off of your energy. They're feasting off of the energy of the followers of these people, right? Like just the fact that she's so blatantly asking for donations for me is already such a huge flag, and then the number red, which you're not supposed to say that on YouTube, supposedly.
Almost like the movie Avatar situation, when you lowering the vibration of the consciousness.
The movie Avatar was made by one of the most corrupt movie makers out there. Okay, so I'm not sure where we're going with this.
Of another entity, it could be a Pleiadian the way I was. And
so she says she was Pleiadian. This is another thing, that's why people, when they contact me and they don't read my about page or whatever, they're always like, oh my gosh, I'm Pleiadian too. And I channel the Arcturians and this and that. And I'm like, okay, so you are deep in that trap somehow. So I really want to know I don't know. This is such a psyop with the entire Pleiadian thing. We should probably dissect it in a different video, but it's crazy that people are still believing in this, in my opinion.
Is you can be in a hyperspace hologram.
So first and foremost, you're human, okay, and it's the reason you're here, and there's nothing even really outside of you, to be honest with you. There's no higher self, over soul, whatever. All of that is complete garbage.
As these technologies with you, how the artificial intelligence, which is organic intelligence, which is another level from three-dimensional, can give you sequences of signals while you're in hemi-state.
Wow. So she's saying artificial intelligence is organic intelligence when it comes from these ETs. This is all you have to know. Yeah, this is why I don't have to go through 1 minute, 1 hour, 5 minutes and 17 seconds of her video, because she's saying so much in the first 4 minutes already. She's promoting AI, which the only thing that's organic is being a human with a soul. AI is not organic. AI was created by souls, and AI is destroying humankind right now. Okay, so there's nothing to glorify about AI.
Puts you in a hemi state, and that sequences has code, hologram, and matrix inside. This is why we discuss different numbers.
Okay, now I get it. So she's hooking people in with this false thing where she's promoting this something else, and this is why people are following her for the past few years already. Yeah, okay, so creating this hologram through AI, is that really what you want to follow? Like just a rhetoric question to her followers?
In different things, because they create sequences of holograms, and your consciousness is starting to perceive a reality, creates a reality. But if you know location in time space of a pulsation of a hologram, you can actually project that hologram in the consciousness of that being. and you can drop your consciousness and create reality within that matrix because you know the exact coordinates.
Okay. People actually believe this. I can't believe it. So she's talking in very scientific terms, and it makes her look smarter to people. It's bamboozling. It's mind bamboozling. For me personally, I have no interest in following any of this nothingness because I know there's nothing behind it. She's basically just wrapping up the entire New Age concepts in very scientific terms. And that's why people are following her, because they probably lost her in the first few videos, but they still want to hear more about this hopium.
That is advanced technologies I talk about here. So if anybody's been
maybe she's AI, because usually AI is always drawn to AI. You know, Archaix has AI in his words, so you already know he's AI. Maybe she's also AI because she's very drawn to science. She's very drawn to this. I can tell you one thing: life is not so complicated that you have to explain it in these terms. The entire science stuff, what you learn in school, like chemistry, physics, biology, all of that is just meant to get you out of your heart space. You know, otherwise they would be teaching like soul-based lessons, heart-based lessons in school, which they never do, by the way. But all of this is really meant to kind of warp you into their AI world so that you kind of function like a robot. And this is kind of what her energy seems like, you know, kind of robotic, in my opinion.
Listening to my material, you understand I'm not talking about, I'm talking about hyperspace hologram, where
my microphone literally just fell off. Whatever she said, I got to watch it in the review. That's always a sign when that happens.
You basically go in, you go to the organic intelligence is putting sequences in your consciousness.
So AI intelligence is putting sequences in your consciousness and messing with it, meaning messing in the dream state. Okay, it goes through certain waves, frequency waves in the dream state, which is why also people experience psychic attacks in the dream state. All you have to do is see the movie Inception. It tells you everything. And AI messes with you through EMF, through everything, through Wi-Fi, which is why people who are always in front of the laptop, unless they're protecting themselves somehow, they seem almost like heartless after that, right? It almost seems like their soul was sucked out of them. So this is what she's kind of promoting.
And you are creating reality based on the matrix of the reality. And this is how I was dropped in. So that,
you know, what is mind-blowing to me, and I know I interrupted quite a bit, I also do it just kind of, you know, I'll probably explain in a different video why I'm doing it. But what's mind-blowing to me is if you have all of this scientific knowledge on how to create these realities, Marina Jacobi, why can't we create a reality where there's world peace, no single war out there, where people are enjoying what they're doing every single day, where everyone has the love partner that they want? Why can't we create an abundant, rich, wealthy reality filled with love, heart, and soul? And none of these New Age teachers are creating that. They're like, she's here, she's being like, oh yeah, you can just create this dark reality and that other reality, but you can't create why can't you create paradise on earth? And I don't think she ever mentions that in any of her videos. I don't even have to watch the other videos.
That's why you have reality within the reality simultaneously running. So you can collectively create that structure. And while I'm in a spacecraft, for example, and doing and being the way, you know, I was told that I'm the commander. I do not.
Yeah, I mean, the entire spacecraft theory. So it's kind of like the movie Matrix, right? Like somehow our real bodies or whatever is somewhere else, and then recreating this. You can just watch the movie Matrix. You don't have to even watch her stuff. Like it kind of seems like she's just using all of that and putting it in her videos somehow.
I don't want to claim anything, you know, because from this perspective, I'm just saying it. I want to experience it for myself. So let that be clear here. But that's what they're saying. So I want to, I believe it, but I want to see it also. You know, it's very exciting to me to know of who I was. And I'm not putting a name for myself. I just want to be real grounded for myself until I create the reality for me. So I can prove everybody in a physical somehow.
I have no idea what you just said with those two sentences. It is kind of just like, you lost me. It's kind of like, okay, you want to create this reality. You think you're somehow in that Matrix movie. That's fair. It's true to a certain extent. But why can't you create paradise on earth? Wouldn't that be the main goal if you're already so smart that you can see all of this?
Okay. So because of that, a lot of people, it's very difficult for some people to understand the advanced technology. And
yeah, okay. Advanced technology created by AI.
And if you do not understand the quantum structure, if you do not understand how you can create structures that you can drop your consciousness within and create a reality matter structure based on the sequences of the magnetic.
It's actually the first time she said, drop your consciousness within. I do got to give her that credit where credit is due. So first time she promotes not looking outside of yourself, but looking within. Okay. Let's see where this is going.
Magnetic and gravitational field, you can get in fear. When you talk about.
Okay, so fear. Not a huge fan talking about fear, because the more you kind of emphasize on that reality, it's similar to people talking about the shadow. The more you emphasize on that, the more you're kind of creating that reality. But let's see.
Artificial intelligence or organic intelligence, a lot of people are making mistakes with that. Everything is in total fear because of the mainstream media and the way you were indoctrinated to think about it. And
well, a lot of people at this point, including myself, including others who probably follow my channel, we don't actually watch the mainstream media anymore. So you're just talking about people. So I wonder what type of people watch your channel. Are these like the followers that don't really question a whole lot, or are these like an older generation that always watches the news? I don't know. Like I know a lot of people in my generation, even the ones that don't consider themselves spiritual, that never really watch the media. So it might be an older followership somehow.
And when you have more information in the meantime, in the community that I am, there are, of course, perpetrators. There are sleeping cells there that basically are put there so they can discredit you for your work if you're true, or sometimes.
I don't, no idea where she is. Is she? Oh, she's maybe talking about the spiritual community she's in. I have no idea. Is she like living in a commune?
People are true, but they get greedy and they download the information, not the right information, and this is also.
These are like the downloads that people channel. Okay, so she's is she one of those? Or like, what's her deal?
Happens. So I understand the confusion, and I understand how difficult that is to put 100% trust in somebody like me or somebody else.
But let's be serious here. And this goes to both Marina Jacobi and everyone who's watching this. Why would you put 100% trust in anyone other than yourself? You can watch a video. You can watch my videos. You can watch her videos. I don't care. I would never be at a point in my life where I'm like, and this is why I don't understand how people even turn into these cult followers, which you obviously see with these massive people who have like 1 million followers or whatever. People like me and people who are not followers but leaders, we never turn into that, because we know that 100% the only person you can trust is only yourself. You can take some bits and pieces from these other people and kind of add to it, but I'm not a huge fan of this putting 100% trust into one person. And I feel it kind of builds out this cult followership, which is the main issue, which is why people don't want to take responsibility of their own life. So she's not really promoting that. She's not really promoting taking responsibility of your own life, being self-empowered. And that's really a huge one in this entire community, as she calls it, right? In the entire New Age community, spiritual community, truther community.
Because there's so much going on and so much misinformation. I have tried since the beginning to prove what I am, how I am. And that for me is actually very challenging because it's so.
But if she's wasting so much energy on proving who she is, she could probably just waste energy on creating content instead of like, it just seems kind of like a victim mentality to me, honestly.
So much challenging, not only with what you listen to from me, but also from your personal lives that you interfere with different people, family members, including the social media, including all the craziness that they're putting us into so they can trap us and keep us in this matrix of a hologram of a low vibration. And
the entire hologram, I would have to look further into what exactly she means by that, but it doesn't resonate with me. It's just like another, I hate to say it, but it's just another like BS empty term for giving people something, but not the true story. And I think this is what hooks people in to begin with. All these trigger words and terms that are never 100% understood. And people want to understand what exactly is this hologram and all of that. And then by the time they never come around to understanding it, they're already like 2 years in with this person, right? Like I really want to just have someone get clear to the point and explain it from A to Z, explain the entire creation story. How did we get here? How did we splinter off from source? And none of these people can explain it, not a single one.
And then you have different people that claiming that they can talk to the ETs and they can, anybody can say anything. That is the truth. But this is my truth. And if you ever trust the material, when I discuss quantum structure, this is the reason why the extraterrestrials and the Council of Nine never wanted me, including on my session, to discuss.
Well, those are just entities that are saying they're the Council of Nine, you know? So just the fact that she believes they really exist is kind of like Elena Dana and Magenta Pixie Energy. I do give her more credit. You know, this is actually the first time I have to give a person a lot of credit in a review. And I think this is why I'm saying the danger behind Marina Jacobi is she gives you a lot of truth, but then it's mixed into this untruth or actual trash, garbage, whatever, like all these trigger words that just confuse you more. But the truth is, like she was just saying, you know, I'm in my truth. I'm speaking my truth. That is great. That is a great thing. That's a great standpoint to be in your life. You know, a lot of people don't have that type of maturity, I find.
What is your galactic family? Where are you coming from? I swear to you, I probably give information from all these people that I talk all over.
Galactic family is another trigger word, just giving people false hope. Why does it matter who your galactic non-existent family is? Like what matters is that we're here right now. How do we get out of here?
Over the world, maybe 4 or 5 people, maybe 6. And this is without me knowing sometimes, and sometimes it's really, they said, because it's needed. But
so 4 or 5 people in the world are supposed to know that? Who are you kidding? Is this like a savior mentality where, you know, everyone thinks they're Jesus, but only one Jesus ever exists? Like, what is this, honestly? You know, like every single person in the world should be knowing this. Everyone should be enlightened. And that it doesn't happen when she's saying, oh, only 4 or 5 people are special enough to know this.
That's all they said. And the reason is because I cannot physically prove it to you. I can prove to you quantum structure. I can show you how energy philanthropy works because I'm the living proof and I walk the talk, you know.
And that sounds a bit in her ego, right? Ego is a bad thing for New Agers, though.
No, I can show you anything else so you can start manifesting, because you cannot say no to mathematics. You cannot say no to metaphysics. It simply is. And that connects.
Yeah, but who was it created by? Honestly. Mathematics never made sense. It doesn't make sense, really. It's another system that is plastered with codes, and it's just another encoding system for the elite. So it's bamboozling. Everything's bamboozling, what she's saying.
Makes the universe, combines all the religions, proves to you how the matrix works and how you can create realities. But when you're talking about your personal parallel experience to somebody, first of all, the psychic, the person, and anybody that is channeling, you don't know for sure what type of a timeline and reality this particular individual is accessing.
So you should teach everyone which one they're accessing with your mathematical knowledge, Marina.
And that is why it's kind of...
Isn't there like a little equation that you have or something?
Challenging for everybody to put a trust into, for example, if you talk about extraterrestrials and stuff like this, because you don't physically see it yet. But the truth is, in order to see it,
so extraterrestrial stuff, just so we are all on the same page, and I don't understand why people keep promoting this, but it seems to be another false trap. Extraterrestrial stuff is government created, and none of them are good. Okay, and they usually are part of who are putting stuff inside your body, like implants or chips or whatever. And usually it's mostly just grays that disguise themselves as Jesus or Pleiadians or whatever, but it's usually always the same extraterrestrial figure that kind of just puts something over them.
You have to create it. And this is what I was trying to show you when it comes to that. So when we
So it's just astral entities. Okay, so I don't know, she's kind of blobbing off right now. I think I made it to around 16, where I thought it was quite interesting. So let's just fast forward to minute 15.
And that is not right to do when it comes to something like this. But when I pulled back and I understood that it's based on fear, sure enough, I didn't say anything else. And I said, if you don't like what you see, you can start looking at other people and focus your attention to that, because I knew how the reality works. But if you don't know the quantum structure so well, you can get completely confused with what's happening.
Okay, so her entire thing is she knows everything, other people don't, which is why her reality is oh so good. Other people are based in fear. And that's pretty much all I'm getting from this video is like, okay, so most people don't know what's going on. Why don't you just teach? Why don't you just have a course, Marina Jacobi, and teach them? You know, why don't these people do something to teach others instead of always being this high and mighty and being like, you know, I'm trying to do my best by doing this, but most people don't understand me with my equations. You know, it's literally the energy she's kind of giving off. Very arrogant. And I think that's why she reminds me of Elena Danan, very arrogant, very above anyone and everyone. And her energy isn't that great. You know, just like stopping the video right here, the screenshot, reading her energy, it's horrendous, honestly. It's very arrogant.
Happening. So this is how all of a sudden I was sitting, and the extraterrestrials end up coming in and literally gave me the explanation.
Wow. So she's taking explanations from astral entities that say they're ETs or whatever. And this is where the information ends up in a YouTube video, mind-blowing. So this is how people get plastered with other astral entities all over their own auric field. Wow, it's smart. It's a smart way. Honestly, it's actually a really smart way to have a YouTube channel blow up like that, because astral entities can it's just like a feast for these astral entities. The more people watch these videos, the more they're going to feast, you know, off of these people's energies. So maybe she's kind of like just like a little hooking people in, and that's the agenda behind her YouTube channel. I don't know.
Of how I'm going to read you the information first, but I wanted to explain more of the stuff, because is when they give us this.
So we kind of missed that entire thing that she put up on there. I don't think there's much significance in it though.
Locations of numbers, again, they give you a time space to go through certain portal in location, but what you do with that and how you create your realities is going to be based on your specific experiences, whatever you collected and whatever your karma. So you may.
Okay, this was the part where the karma came in. And so first of all, she's not telling you how you can change your reality. You can change your reality with the power of your mind. You can even heal diseases with the power of your mind. Like, none of these people say any of that either. So sure, the past experiences are always to re-experience something bad in the past, or even like a past life, or of course that's going to influence our reality. You know, you had trauma as a child. You were bit by a dog as a child. You're going to be terrified of a dog as an adult unless you work through it. But she's not really saying how you can overcome all of this with the power of the mind. You know, you don't even have to be so high and mighty to do that. You just have to know how. And also the entire karma thing. You can get rid of karma. You don't have to follow the karma narrative. You don't have to be like, oh, it's my karma to do this and that, or it's bad karma to do that. It's good karma. No, that's not really accurate at all. New Agers like to use karma because they want to keep you in that reincarnation trap. You can get rid of every karma you've ever had with anyone or anything, tear up those karmic soul contracts, tear up anything that you think has karma in it. And that's it with karma. Karma's out the window after that. So don't get looped into this false concept of karma. You have way more power over your life than these people ever want you to believe. And this is what I'm always missing with every single video that I dissect. None of them are saying how powerful you really are.
That experience, or you got in doubt, or you got in fear, you may not have that experience.
How about you just say, oh, but when you're happy, when you're in love, that's when all the good stuff comes. Like, she doesn't say that. She's always in this lower energy, like lower negative energy. And when people focus so much on that in every single video, that's kind of what they're going to get back, I find.
Anymore. Or for example, you will not see the extraterrestrial sometimes, and they may come back again, or will be completely silenced. Just because they're not there,
well, first of all, you don't want to communicate with these ETs. You want to get them out of your field. Okay, so that's already a huge one. Also interesting how her hands look in that screenshot, almost like random stuff, right? Like random entities themselves. Maybe this is the same as a light language trap where they're kind of putting codes on you with their hand movements.
Focus the attention and blame the person that is giving you something. So that became into fear. So all of a sudden, this is what the message came in to tell me, for them to tell me.
Okay, so I always thought she wasn't channeling information. My apologies. She's a channeler. There you go. A channeler of ETs.
My experience, I actually didn't ask them. They saw it and they came in and they explained the whole thing to me.
Wow, she's so special. She's one of those 4 to 5 people in the entire world of supposedly almost 8 billion people that we have that are just disclosing this information to her. Look how special she is. That's basically what she's saying.
And they said like this. They said, okay, in every hologram of the collective human in now is less than 30% connection. So basically they told me that
the number 30% is interesting because some people say there's only 30% of all humans walking around that are souls. So it's funny that she gets that number in terms of connection, because basically that's what it means, because souls connect to other souls, but they don't connect to robotoids or soulless beings like clones, you know. But regardless, like just the fact that she has to read this information, I mean, it's just ridiculous, honestly. It's getting more and more ridiculous. I don't even have to watch the entire video.
When they're reading the collective consciousness of the planet Earth, you know, we're talking.
But are we really on a planet, Marina Jacobi? That's another question, right?
For ascension, 5th dimensional, through the transition of the fourth is transitioning, and 5th dimensional is permanent.
Okay, so she's really into the 5D ascension trap. Gotcha. Which is just another trap, by the way. It gets you nowhere.
But we are fluctuating between all that until we make it.
There are people that think they're in the 5D now, and lo and behold, they still have to pay their rent. I wonder why.
Permanent. That's what we're learning right now.
Sounds very 3D to me.
Okay, so they said into the collective right now is only 30% that is actually having the proper frequency that can sustain reality with them. So you can imagine. So
basically only the souls could sustain a reality. That's kind of what I'm reading into that. But yeah, this is already complete garbage, honestly. I don't even want to say garbage the entire time, but every time I hear these concepts, it's ridiculous how people buy them. Like, I can't understand how people are following this.
How much more we need to do, okay? And that is to sustain. We're not talking that they may have experience right away, okay? Because I'm going to explain this through the quantum structure. And they said,
I feel the quantum is like a trigger word for her to make her look smarter.
They said the rest, basically only 30% right now have the proper frequency for some connection with us.
Wow. Do people really want to have a connection with these entities? Do you really want to call in these random entities that are going to F up your life? I don't know.
They said
I personally don't.
You have to awaken more.
But this is like New Age 101, the entire Dolores canon. The whole globe is still not awakened. Like, this is just kind of what she's saying, and that was said like 20 years ago. They keep regurgitating the entire concepts over and over again, like the same concepts over and over again. Shouldn't we already be there at this point, like 20 years later? Just a random question. And learn how it works, basically how the quantum structure works, how the reality works, what is possible, what is not. And they said, and to have 100% understanding and acceptance of our existence. Guys, think about it. How many people right now really gonna think that? Okay, so she wants her followers to accept that these ETs exist, which are astral entities trying to screw up your life, so that you can call them in better. They can hook into you, feast off your energy, And that somehow is going to benefit her too, because she's just a puppet to all of this. So just let all of this sink in. Honestly, it's mind blowing. Another thing, I can barely really look at her in this video. I'm a bit distracted by her stuff in the background, like the whiteboard, but there's something about her energy where I'm just like, I can barely look at it. So I always have to look elsewhere.
That extraterrestrials exist. Some of them, I had people that are such a good people, and at the moment you say ET, and they kind of go into this shell.
Good for them. Stay away from that crazy person.
And they don't want to even talk to you, even if they like you so much, because now you're looking completely weird. Okay.
Well, you are weird. You're promoting ETs instead of just your own inner knowing. How about you promote inner intuition and inner self, Marina?
Then they said, and only then it will be possible to access our reality hologram when in the collective is 100%.
Wow. So I think I might end it there. You get the idea, right? And I got to see how many people watch this. How many entities have already feasted off? So 13,000 views, not too bad. But I mean, it's kind of like, you know, if we had like 1 million views, I've been, oh no, all those entities got 1 million people. But it's just, it gives you an idea, right? So just very bamboozling. And the main message is trying to get you to follow ETs instead of following your own inner knowing. And yeah, so much to Marina Jacobi. I honestly had a hard time looking at her. Okay, so very strange energy. I always wanted to say Elena as well. So there's something similar with Marina and Elena's energy. I don't know exactly what. Maybe they're like two duplicates of each other, just like younger versions somehow. But yeah, you guys, if you want to learn how to trust your inner self, inner intuition, you can check out my own website, pleiadianhealer.com. I offer courses that teach you how. I offer sessions as well, self-empowering sessions. And, you know, I hope these reviews help you a little bit in deciphering how confusing these people are. It's so important to go through that. Like, I can't re-emphasize it over and over again, because once you see through it, you kind of can't unsee what you see, right? And I hope you have a wonderful day ahead, wherever you are in the world. If you're new to this channel, click the like, the follow, subscribe, and I'll see you with the next video. So, and also, if you want to submit people to review, you can always do that too. And until then, bye guys. Have a wonderful one.